What is up, guys? This is going to be my review for Gotham Season 4, Episode 6, titled The Blade's Path. This episode had three major stories, the main one being incredible, and then one of the side ones being pretty disappointing, and the other side one just being weird. So first up, the incredible third of this episode, and that's the Rochelle Ghoul Bruce Wayne story. Throughout this season so far, Bruce Wayne has become by far the best character on the show, and has by far the most compelling stories, and this episode was no exception. The whole story with Rochelle Ghoul was so good. This episode, Alexander Siddig, who plays Rochelle Ghoul, his portrayal of Rochelle Ghoul went from being a good portrayal, or an okay to good portrayal, to being pretty amazing. That one line where Rochelle Ghoul told Bruce what would happen if he didn't kill him was really scary, not gonna lie, and it just completely changed his portrayal for me, and I really liked him. I definitely don't think he's gone forever. Like, they killed him off, and I don't think he's gone forever. There's always the possibility of a Lazarus pit. What might happen is that if Talia or Nyssa are around, one of them could bring his body back to Nanda Parbat and revive him. I think it would be really cool if what happens is what he said to Bruce about coming back in the future, like if he didn't kill him, can still hold a little true. Bruce would continue with his life, becoming Batman, and Rochelle Ghoul would come back out of nowhere and fight him after he's trained for a couple years. I think that would be the perfect thing to do. Honestly, I want him to come back this season, but it doesn't make sense to bring him back that quickly. Speaking of Bruce training, the end of the episode perfectly set him up to leave Gotham and train maybe in Nanda Parbat. This could definitely open up possibilities for the future of the season. So now we get to the disappointing story of the episode, and that's the Solomon Grundy slash Riddler story. I was pretty excited to see Solomon Grundy on Gotham, and honestly, the way he looked, the way he talked, the way he acted, it was pretty underwhelming. The way they brought him back to life was a little different than in the comics, because in the comics it was a magical swamp, and on the show it was from Indian Hill. Some waste from Indian Hill got into the swamp, and honestly, it doesn't bother me. It's a really cool way to tie it into the rules and the canon of the show. I thought that they might use the Lazarus pit, but I was just wrong. The rest of the story was pretty lame. I really don't like how the Riddler lost his intelligence. I really don't like his story this year so far. Even like going by the universe's logic, it doesn't make sense that the Riddler lost his intelligence. If you don't explain it using anything ranging from magic to mad science to some crazy experiment, or if you can explain it using anything, but if you don't explain it, I can only suspend my disbelief for so long, and I just don't believe that the Riddler would somehow lose his intelligence by being frozen for a couple months. Being frozen for a couple months would either leave him brain dead or not affect him at all. And unless if it's one of those things, or I mean, it would definitely leave him brain dead in real life, but in this universe, it can't just like selectively take out his which intelligence they want. Either it leaves him brain dead like in real life, or he would just not be affected at all. Unless if it's one of those things where he only thinks he lost his intelligence. So after he got thawed out, his mind is a little blurry, and that led him to thinking he lost his intelligence. I definitely think that's what they're doing this season, and if I'm not definitely. I think they're doing that this season, not for sure. But if they do, that's a little like pointless. This whole story is pointless. It's just to fill time. I hope they do something else, but just off the top of my head, there's nothing I could think about that would give him back his intelligence that wouldn't be utterly stupid. And the actual story with the Riddler and Solomon Grundy was just pretty underwhelming. The third storyline in this episode was the Penguin and Sophia Falcone story. And it was so weird. Sophia was trying to get through to Penguin, but basically becoming his mother. It was just so weird. So in conclusion, this episode was 1/3 incredible, but that was the main story, so it was more than 1/3. It was like 2/3 great, and then another third was dedicated to two different stories, and those were both, one of them was disappointing, the other one was weird. I really want to give this episode a high score just because of how good the main story was, and you know what? I'll give this episode a 9.3 out of 10. So what do you think about the episode? Let me know in the comments down below and vote in the poll in the top right corner of the video. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.